In today's unboxing, we take a look at the Kickstarter edition of Monumental. Let's take a look.
There are hobbyists among us, geniuses with the ability to play any game they want to. In 1978, a corporation known as The Interior isolated a young hobbyist named John and exploited his genius for their entertainment.
Then one day, their hobbyist ran away. Here I have the Kickstarter edition of Monumental. The slip on here labeled this as the deluxe edition. So I don't know if this is going to be one that you'll be able to get retail, or if there's going to be retail differences or Kickstarter differences. But this is from my Kickstarter copy. So if you do get this retail, there might be some differences. Additionally, I also have this right here, which is labeled as Punchboard Fix, and I have the core unit box tokens, as well as a list of posters. All of this we will be taking a look. So here, but again, here is the box. Let's go ahead and start here. Take a look at this. Not much, just a very simple design here on the box. Even the back, just Monumental, doesn't give you any kind of idea of what's going on. You can also see how long it took for this to come out, where it's still labeled 2019, even though this just finally started to get delivered here in 2020. So this was a long time in the making. Well, let's go ahead and crack it open, since the box itself isn't giving us anything to go on, and let's see what we have on the inside. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, first up we have the instruction booklet, and this is different and interesting. I kind of like this, how they even put the instruction booklet in a little Ziploc bag here to keep that nice and clean and protected. Let's go ahead and open this up. See if we can't take a look at what we have in here. That's a nice tight little bag. There we go. That's nice. I like that. All right, so let's see here. First off, oh, and then there was also the plan. Because I think there's supposed to be a couple. There's the book. I think there's supposed to be a campaign. Oh, there we go. Civilization, and then a campaign manual. Maybe this is for the campaign. I don't know. We'll take a look at everything here and see what all we have to look at. And let's go ahead and do our makeshift table with the two boxes joined at the side. There we go. All right, and it goes straight into the game. This is kind of interesting. No components list, no nothing to check for anything. I mean, it just goes straight into the rules. That's different. I mean, usually you have, the very beginning. It's what's in here. What are your components? What do you have? What are you expecting to get? It's kind of interesting. 2, 3, very thick pages. I don't know if you just caught that. I had to check my numbers so I can verify that this was actually page 4, because when I went to start to turn the page, I was like, that seems awful thick. I feel like I'm getting an extra page in here, but no, it's the way it is. Very thick pages, lots of imagery going on to help you understand the rules. I like that. I like what I'm seeing there. But again, just some of the little things that I'm missing, like I said, that table of that little contents, or a table of contents, all that kind of stuff being missing is a bit odd. And then an explanation of the cards, some terminology. Oh, and then finally, a extremely small, oh my gosh. Look how small this is. Little bit of the components. And here we can see the classic edition and the deluxe edition, so we can see what the difference is. And I did get the deluxe, and then the add-on was the tokens. So I'm guessing that if you get the retail classic edition, you won't get the miniatures, but instead you'll get these tokens for everything. But here, since I went ahead and I don't remember what the upgrade cost was, I don't think it was much, but I went ahead and got the tokens anyway, so I had them both. So we'll be able to see that. So if you are looking at this from a retail point of view, you should have a fairly good idea of what all there is, especially being here. Let's go ahead, and I want to do a close-up on this so you guys can see what exactly is the differences. Again, so if you are looking at this from a retail point of view, you will know what the differences are from this Kickstarter edition and then the retail that you might be getting. And then all the little thanks and everything. Let's go ahead and close in on that. And here is that close-up of the two different editions, our classic edition tokens and our deluxe edition, where we can see that in all of this we're getting tokens for the classic, and in the deluxe there are figures for pretty much everything, including some bases for the civilizations, some colored bases to help match everything up and to you know, help tell the different colors between your groups. Because if I remember right, in this game, the different players pick a color, so you will then probably match your color, your chosen color, to your figures to go on. So that's what I'm guessing the color bases are. But again, here is that breakdown for the classic and deluxe, so you know exactly what you're getting with the type and copy that you have purchased. Up next we have the layouts manual. Now this, I believe, is the different layouts for you to set up the worlds based on your player count, I think the level that you're at, all that kind of stuff. So here, for example, we can say a 2-player level 1, and then another 2-player level 1, cities of gold. So yeah, so the different layouts, 2 players level 2. 2-player level 3, 3-player level 1, a different 3-player level 1, 3-player level 2, 3-player level 3, and then 4, probably the same thing, a level 1, an additional level 1, level 2, and on the back, yep, a level 3 for the 4-player. So those are all the pre-designed player or board layouts. Though I do believe we flipped through it quickly, but I want to remember when I was looking at the instructions online, there is a way to do your own custom maps. So I bet there will be a lot of these custom maps being done and put out, especially on Board Game Geek, where people are putting out their own map designs. So I bet we can foresee that coming. And then our civilization manual. Yep, and here's talking about the different civilizations in the game. So here at first we have Egypt. Now this font, now while I like all the imagery on here and everything, the font is ridiculously small. And especially when you're seeing stuff like this, where we have an entire empty page, I so would have preferred moving this over here, give me a nice size font that we can actually see and read and look at. And especially with a completely blank page, it wouldn't have cost you any extra pages, but you could have increased your font size. I mean, maybe because they're trying to keep each civilization on its own page. I would have so preferred a double page for each civilization, and then have a slightly larger font. But and then the credits for that. And then up next we have all of the tokens that are here within the deluxe copy. The miniatures, which we will look at here in a little bit. Nice little tray, looks like it's a double-sided tray with a lid. Always love to see the lid. Oh, and I like these little indents right here to keep everything where they are supposed to be without actually having to have it latch in. Because if you're a painter, that's really good. Because when they latch in, every time you pop them in and out, you're scratching that paint. But you also don't want them rattling around. So I'm really digging this lid they have going on. And then it looks like we have another tray for all of the rest of the civilizations. And I'm guessing these right here would be for the tokens. So that's kind of nice. Where, you know, even though I have the deluxe and shouldn't need the tokens, I have room in it, so the tokens that I did get I can put into here. So that's cool. I like that. Well, let's go ahead and get started here with the tokens. Here are the tokens for the game and everything like that. And I figured since we are going through the tokens now is also a good time to go through those Kickstarter extras that I got. Again, I believe these would be what is in the retail game, or those extra tokens for the retail game if you didn't get the deluxe edition. So we'll go ahead and look at all of that here as we're here on this section. And this is interesting. It's just a player mat. This, I have no idea what this is used for. Maybe for scorekeeping, because here I believe is for the different colors for your. But that's way too many. There's no way this game supports that many players. I don't know. These are build construction type tokens. I can't remember what the exact terminology is. I believe it's the same on both sides. And that right there just came out super simple. That was a great punch. You always love to see that. Absolutely no burrs whatsoever. That's got some pretty decent warpage though going on. Let me see if we can't look at that. So here, let's do the flip. That's a little hard to see because they're so... No, you can't really tell. That was hard to tell because you can't. There's not a whole bunch. Usually you can say if there's bases or something, or your map tiles or whatever, you can kind of do that flip. But that looks like a fair amount of warpage. That should be okay. Sitting there. I like that. And again, wow, that's ridiculous. All right. So up next, here we go. These are the wonders. And then some marketplaces for all of our different civilizations. I believe these are the wonders. So as you purchase the wonder, I bet it's going to go on the game mat from wherever it is that you set that wonder up. But there are those marketplace tokens. Those two wonders. And again, just flipping it just lightly, I mean, just wanted to punch like it was nothing. And so these, because I believe these marketplaces, you're probably going to, I think, if I remember right, you put these around the board, you don't know what it is, so then once you do your marketplace, you then see what exactly it is you got. So that's why they're different on the back. The same thing here on these armies that we got in the game. I don't know if you remember when we showed the different layouts, they showed at different places you're going to put different armies that you'll have to conquer. So then you just have level 1, 2, 3, so forth and so on. And then on the other side, if you win, will be your reward. So here is the more important part of this one. All of the different potential rewards for defeating. And so this is an either or. You can get this or this, if I remember right. There those are. And then here are our influence, if I remember right. Then some more of those builds, because I think there's gold, build, and science. I think is our token types. And then so we flip and just identical to the back. And since we have this out, let's go ahead and open this, because it says it is a fix. I don't know what it would be fixing. I mean, these don't seem all of that. I mean, maybe it's count. Maybe there wasn't enough of them. Maybe there was supposed to be more. Maybe that's the fix. Just providing additional, because these look pretty identical. The coloring is different though. Wait, maybe not. Maybe I just have it upside down. No, those. I have no idea. I don't know what this may have been fixing. The only thing I can think of is incorrect count, or incorrect, you know, the number of tokens that there was supposed to be. Don't know. So then that brings us to the core box tokens. So again, I believe this is what you would be getting if you did the retail non-deluxe edition. And this one looks like it is going to be pretty tight in here. I can't get that out. See, because what I'm guessing is in the game you will get that bottom tray in a smaller box, and then all the tokens. So that's what those empty spots are for. Let's see. Nope, these are weird sized. I mean, they don't match up. So we have some extra gold, a couple extra resources. These, I believe, are your because every race or civilization has their one main character. So I believe these are the tokens for those main characters. And then these ones are square. I wish. Interesting. I wish they were all round though. It'd potentially be easier to put these in coin sleeves or something if they were all round. That's something I'll definitely be looking into doing. Possible upgrades for these. See if we can't protect these and make them, you know, better for your game. Let's go ahead and take a close look at these. And the backs look identical. And then here are all of your armies, because you have different types for each civilization. You have explorers, soldiers, and then your main unit. So I believe these would be the others. So I'm guessing here these are going to be our explorers, towers, those main unique units, and then here are all the sword or soldiers, and then a few more additional construction type, I believe. Let's go ahead and take a look. And these are all identical. Yeah. And let's flip. So those are all of the tokens for the base game. So here we have all of the core components for the game. One thing that I am liking, again, I do like this tray because it looks like it has room for all of those tokens that we just opened. So this will probably be the same insert that you get if you bought it retail, just you won't have the next miniatures section. So it'll probably be a smaller box with just ints in here. One thing that I do like is that this lid has these little notches to help keep that shut. I like it when they do that, to try to keep everything done, shut, contained. That's a very nice feature. Now there is this one bit right here. This is definitely its own special wrap. All of these were you know, vacuum seal type packaging. The only thing I've done so far is opened everything, take all the wrapping off of here, because y'all don't need to see me fight with that on camera, though I'm sure it would have been pretty funny, because they were those real tight without easy open notches. It did take me a few minutes to get everything off. But here within this pack, it does have that easy open. I'm betting that these are going to be Kickstarter exclusive cards, and where everything else here you would get retail. Am I positive on that? Absolutely not. But at least you'll be able to see everything and get an idea of you know, what I think are the differences. So here we'll go ahead and start with these ones to get these, what I'm assuming are Kickstarter exclusive items, out of the way first. And we have a two-headed serpent. Well, first off, let's look here. I think they should all have the same, yeah, they all have the same back. Cerberus. So this is interesting. These are like creatures or something. A Djinn. Frost Giant. Well, I wonder what these are for. Gorgon. Oh, this is so cool. I like these a lot. Kraken. Minotaur. Sphinx. And Wendigo. That's great. I love that. So these seem to be all kind of monsters. I'll have to try to remember to look, see exactly what these are. Let's go ahead and get into what I believe is the core components. Now, one thing that is nice is all of these land locations are pre-punched for us and already in here. A lot of times with these big box games, with these Kickstarter games, these will still be, you know, on their full sheets, and so the box will be even larger open. So that way, once you punch them and put them in, then the box shrinks down to its normal size. So it was kind of nice that they went ahead and punched these for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. Go ahead and zoom in on these so we can take a better look. Now here we'll go ahead and take a look at these locations. Now they all have this same common back. I'm guessing this is so you can put them all this way, shuffle them up, and make random boards. But again, that I'm not 100% sure on. And I believe this number up here is the base value for the terrain. So when you come in, you'll put on a warrior that's on here, and then the base, so that way you know, like say it's a level 2 warrior, you know, to beat this you have to have equal to or more than 3. So I believe that's how that goes. Let's go ahead and start taking a look. These look nice. I like, you know, it kind of has that 3-dimensional feel, where it looks like this maybe was once a well or something, or maybe the foothill of a tower. Yeah, I'm liking those. All right. We've got 2 of those. And another. And I don't think there's any correlation with this path. I think it's just design. I don't think this actually has any gaming merit. So far it looks like we have 2 or 3 of this one. And then the next stack. Oh, that's cool. I like that mountain design. There's 3 of those. 4 of those. Doing a volcano. That's really cool looking. I like that a lot. And then a lake. And then one without the birds. I don't see any other real differences there. And then another slightly different. I wonder if the other ones were slightly different. Because here it was easy to see because we have the birds on here. And these two are definitely the same. Yeah, those are slightly different right there. Yep, slightly different. I like that. I mean, it's so minute there. I thought they were all the same, but... And our final stack of land tiles. Now these ones right here, I believe, are our civilization starting locations. So there's going to be, I think, 4 for the player count, for the 4 player count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that looks like a square. That's the 0 to let you know its base starting attack value, whatever, is 0. And that looks very similar to the very first one we saw. Of course, it had didn't it have like a well looking thing, I think. So it is different. Very cool. Up next, we have all of the cards for the game. Now, with the way they came in the package, again, I don't know what all is Kickstarter exclusive or what is going to be in both the retail and the Kickstarter stuff. I will give you my best estimate, my best guess as what was Kickstarter, because some things were kind of separated in the different piles that made me think maybe this pile might be Kickstarter exclusive or might be some Kickstarters. I'm going to show you everything, but again, some of this stuff might be Kickstarter exclusive. So if you are buying this retail, some of the stuff you might not get what you see. Well, first off, it looks like we have some reference cards. There are 4 of these. I love it when they have 4, so every player can potentially get their own reference card. Next up, we have what appears to be some round or turn cards. They are the same on both sides. So we have an R, a 3, a 2, and a 1. Up next, we have what I'm thinking is going to be an Automa deck. Because these are the only ones that really have action kind of things, and then there are civilizations. But this makes me think that maybe there's just this one, so maybe you can have one Automa player, which immediately makes me wish I could have more than one of these, like 2 or 3 decks. I'm definitely going to be looking to see if I can buy additional ones of these. You know, so that way you can have a 3 or 4 player game in the solo capacity. But this is probably so you can do a 2-player solo. If that's the case, I don't know 100%. Again, I haven't really dove into the game, but just my educated guess, I'm thinking that this is going to be an Automa deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. Now, all of these that I'm showing you right now were kind of in that stack that I'm thinking some of this might be Kickstarter exclusive. I'll be getting to that more here when I get into these next set of cards. But this, I'm guessing, is the Automa. I don't remember seeing where Solo or Automa was Kickstarter exclusive. This, I would hope you're getting whether you go retail or not. Then up next we have our heroes. They all have the same. This is our kind of common deck as your deck building. You're drawing in cards, and then when it gets to your deck, when you're shuffling things, so that way you don't know where things are coming. So they all have the same common back. But here is a group of heroes, and I believe these appear to kind of co-inspire with the wonders, or at least this guy. You know, he even talks about when Imhotep's wonder is completed. I don't know if they're all that way or not, but it'd be interesting. So that looks like a warrior type hero. Alexander the Great, King Arthur. That's great. Joan of Arc, Genghis Khan, William Shakespeare. Leonardo da Vinci, that's great. Thomas Jefferson, that is great. Which is weird though, because I don't think there's any kind of, you know, U.S. type civilization. Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Gandhi and Cleopatra. Those are great. I love, okay, these are hilarious. If these are Kickstarter exclusive, this is something you definitely would want to try to get. I'm loving these little heroes. That is absolutely fantastic. Next, when it comes to the rest of these back cards, we have knowledge cards. We kind of have just build cards, and then we have wonders. And in this one deck, there was just a few knowledge, wonder, and builds. So I'm thinking this group right here might be Kickstarter exclusive. Again, I'm not 100% on that. So I'll kind of show these separately just in case, because of the way they were arranged in the box. I mean, it could have just been packaging. Could have just been the way that they done the packaging and everything. But just in case, I'm going to show them to you guys separately, just in case these are Kickstarter exclusive items. First up is the knowledge cards. Again, they will all have the same common back. Then we have the wonders, again from this line that I'm thinking might be Kickstarter exclusive. And then the build cards. Alright. So then up next we have our normal knowledge cards. Again, these are what I'm thinking are going to be retail versions. Again, they will all have the same common back. And just in case you're wondering, if you kind of see this weird look where the light is hitting everything, that is because of these cards. They have that weird feel to them. I mean, they don't feel like just normal cards. They have a nice build quality. I like them. But I mean, you can see, and I don't know if you can hear it as I'm kind of like flipping through them. You can feel this like almost grainy feel to them. That checkerboard feel, and you can see that with the lights kind of hitting, you know, all the cross patterns. So that's what that kind of is. So those aren't little white dots that you're seeing. That is actually the kind of like my light kind of reflecting off of kind of like the pattern within the cards. Like here you can see it real good right in there. Then we have the wonders, again that same common back, and there are a lot of wonders. From what I understand, these are something that you definitely want to try to get because the wonders do add a good bit to your game. Machu Picchu and the Notre Dame. See this one, didn't Notre Dame just recently have a fire? That'd be Large Hadron Collider, that's great. Statue of Liberty. International Space Station. And then finally we have all of the build. And this is definitely the largest deck within the game. You can see here all these. And here you can see there is a slight warp to some of the cards. You can definitely tell where these kind of like were in different little stacks. Here we go. Flip through these. And there are a few, like here, these are going to be your basic or level 1, I believe. So they're kind of going to be out. Yeah, there's a bunch of those. And then some more. Building Work Camp. And then another. This one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, those look identical. And these right here are the resource you get for using these in your game. So if you use this card in your grid, you would get 1 knowledge resource to use. Oh, now we're starting to get into a little bit of more variety. Let's not flip through these too fast. There's that. Now I believe there's supposed to be, maybe that's what some of those other ones were that we kind of went through quickly. Because I think every race is supposed to have a unique card or 2 for them. But like I said, since they all have that same back, it might be hard to tell. Which is which. See, like here, Samurai School. Like I think this is the one specific for that one group, but I don't know. Whoa. Let's I massively got off a little. Sorry about that. I know a lot of you are probably yelling, "Can't see the title!" Now it looks like we're going back into a bunch of duplicates. And a whole bunch of those. And then a workshop. And these actually might be those basic builds, those last 3 that we just kind of looked at, that are always going to be up there. This the workshop, the laboratory, and the archery. Those will be the top 3 that you could buy almost at any time, and the other 6 kind of cycle through as people buy them. So there are those. And then that brings us to the actual civilizations themselves. So here we have your warrior, and then every civilization has 5 culture cards. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. And the backs for them will be for your civilization. So and then we have the next, and there's that back, and that warrior. And then up next, and finally, And here we are going to get into the miniatures for the deluxe edition. So if you were to get that deluxe edition, these would be all of those. Let's go ahead and take a look. Again, it's got that same kind of latch top, though the bottom, because it says, you notice, is in 2 layers. The bottom doesn't have that same kind of latch it does, but that's okay. I do like how it stacks up, and again, I really like the way that they've designed this to keep everything in there, in its place, yet not so tight that it's going to ruin any kind of paint job that you do. Now, all of the towers, these all look the same. Now these, it's a little close. There's going to be a little rub, so if you paint some of these, there might be a little rub between them. But there are the towers. It would have been nice if there was slight deviation here for the different races or for the different civilizations, cultures, what have you. And then we have the different warriors. And so it looks like this bottom row is going to be our explorers, and then here are going to be the warriors for the different civilizations. So we will start up here and work our way down. Now this might be the only part that I think might make this a little difficult when playing the game, because those tiles are only so big, and I want to remember they had them like stacked where you have like 5 or 6, say, warriors that are going to be there, and then you slowly kind of move them you know, along the board as you're going. I can't imagine putting, you know, 5 or 6 of these guys on one of those tiles. So this might be one of those easier said than done kind of things, but we'll definitely be trying to take a look at that as we go through our review, you know, review setups and those kind of videos, the feasibility of using these. But here at first glance, seeing those little tiles and the size of these, I don't know how well that's going to actually work. So here's our next civilization warrior. So you're going to go in there and in there, and then here. It's like these are maybe the Roman. The last one I'm guessing is probably going to be the Egyptian. I do like, I mean, they got some great detail. They look really nice. I like here even the back of the shield. Let's see if you can see that. I mean, you can even see a little bit of texture there on the back of the shield. That's going to take a wash wonderfully. Oh no, there's going to be the Egyptians. Oh, this is a great detail on these guys. And then, there we go, our different explorers. I like the little tree that he's kind of standing on. There's 2 of each of those. They really fit all these guys in here nice and tight, didn't they? And finally, our last explorer. And then these would probably be our main units. Wow, he looks really nice. If you're a painter, you will have fun with this set. You probably will try to find some other way to store him, probably store all of these, but nice. And then here looks like her staff here has a little bit of a bend. Again, those are easily fixed. You just do the hot water, cold water trick where you get a bowl of hot water, put the part in that you want to bend or fix, bend it into the proper orientation, and then put it in the cold water to set it. So that's okay. And he's on the cover of the box, if I remember right. Love that. Oh, that's great. That bird right there. So somebody hasn't missed ab day. And then here we have those base rings, so you can keep track of your color. And these right here, I believe, are going to be the only parts that, if you buy retail, will also be in the retail. Because I think these are the tokens. Now these may be upgrade tokens, just again for the deluxe. But I think within the rules, when it showed those components, it did talk about tokens for managing the different resources. I think that's what these are. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. So here we have the black ones. These ones I believe are for the build resource, and they are just a simple little black disc. So as you earn resources, you'll get those and spend those. And then blue for the science. Education, I can't remember how they phrased it. Again, just a little plastic blue disc. And then red for your war or campaign. So as you want to invade, you will be using these for those. Though no gold ones. I think those were a separate add-on if you wanted to buy, if you wanted metal coins, but I have tons of those, so I didn't need that. And then these, I believe, are for wonder markers. These little orange cubes. So as you get wonders, you'll mark where those are. And then here, then we have all of what looks like those creatures from that one pack. If you remember when I pulled it out first, and because of the way that was packaged in there, I thought maybe those monsters might be Kickstarter exclusive. Looks like they have miniatures for all of those. And then for the heroes, again, for another section I thought might be Kickstarter exclusive. It looks like they made miniatures for all of those heroes. That is great. And who doesn't want an Albert Einstein miniature? That means there's going to be a Thomas Jefferson miniature. That is going to be great. There you go. There he is. Is that going to be him? We'll look at him in a minute. That would be the Nikola Tesla miniature. William Shakespeare. Again, who doesn't want a William Shakespeare miniature? So that would be Cleopatra, probably. Showing a little leg. And then what I'm guessing is the Thomas Jefferson one. Joan of Arc, maybe? And then Alexander. Oh no, that would be Imhotep. And this right here is going to be Joan of Arc, probably. That right there will give you some, want some practice on freehand? There's a nice big banner for that. Look at that. Gandhi. And here's going to be Alexander, most likely. So then that will bring us into the monsters. I'm going to start with him. Oh my lord, that is heavy. That is one full solid piece of miniature for Genghis Khan. They did not skimp on the Genghis Khan miniature. That's what I'm assuming this guy is going to be. Alright, so these guys, all the monsters appear to have square bases. Oops, all have square bases. So that's how I guess you can tell the difference between them. So yeah, that's probably definitely Genghis Khan. Now with this guy, more so than I've noticed with others, there's some gaps that might need to be filled a little bit. I'm liking these miniatures. Some of these right here I'm seeing as potential uses outside of this game, but if you have another game that might not be miniature based, where I can bring some of these guys over. Probably Cerberus right here. You can see a little gap fill right there on the jaw we need to do. How did you go in there? There you go. And then the Sphinx. This is probably going to be the Kraken. He's even absorbing a ship. That's great. And finally, Medusa, or the Gorgon. Very cool. Here we have the posters. Now these I cannot remember if this was a Kickstarter exclusive or it was something that I added on. I'm thinking this was a Kickstarter exclusive, so and this probably won't even be included in the deluxe if you were to get that. So this is probably a Kickstarter exclusive. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. And so here we have, and I will do my best to try to show you them as best I can without pulling too much out of the camera. But it looks like they all are going to have this bottom and probably have one for each civilization. And I just did the real quick reverse roll because, you know, they came all rolled up in that tube. So then I rolled them the opposite way to get them semi-flat without too much of an issue. And then our Japanese, most likely. Yep, see in that bottom just... These are absolutely gorgeous. And the backs, yep, just a white back. That's interesting. Why are there two? Why is there two of that one? I don't know. And then the Greek. That's so pretty, I like that. Yeah, just the monumental bottom. And then that box cover. Egyptian. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. I like that a lot. Nice. That was the last of them. Well, that is everything for Monumental. I did my best to try to show what you might be getting, or definitely will be getting here in the deluxe edition, and then try to remember and show what the differences might be, being that this is the Kickstarter edition, as well as being able to show you the components that there might be if you go retail and what those differences might be. I hope this unboxing has helped you to determine if this game is something you would be interested in looking into getting for yourself. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.